Hello and welcome to Perspectives for Monday, September 22nd. I'm Deacon Pedro, sitting in for Stefan Slovak. We begin our coverage in Albania, where Pope Francis traveled yesterday for his first apostolic trip in Europe outside of Italy. After meeting with Bujar Nishani, President of the Republic, and various civil authorities, the Holy Father celebrated an open-air Mass at Mother Teresa Square. The Mass was attended by an estimated 300,000 people, many of them Muslims. In his homily, Pope Francis recalled that Albania is a land of martyrs. It is a land that has suffered harsh persecution against Catholics, Orthodox, and Muslims. He told Albanians that, quote, "The eagle depicted in your nation's flag calls to mind hope and the need to always place your trust in God, who does not lead us astray and who is ever at our side, especially in moments of difficulty." At the end of the day, the Holy Father celebrated evening prayer with a group of priests, seminarians, members of religious congregations, and members of many lay movements. Before Vespers, Pope Francis heard testimonies from Sister Maria Caletta and from Father Ernesto Simoni Trosciani, both witnesses of the persecution suffered under communist rule. Both testimonies visibly moved the Holy Father. After the prayer, the Pope made a last-minute change.
Ho preparato alcune parole per voi, per dirvi.
I had prepared several words to tell you, and I will give it to the Archbishop so that he may send you the translation once it's done.
Mi è venuto di dirvi un'altra cosa.
But now, I would like to tell you something else. The Holy Father proceeded to say that we are able to survive so much tribulation because God is the God of consolation. He said, quote, "God consoles us in all our tribulations, so that we may also console those who find themselves in any form of affliction, with the consolation with which we ourselves have been consoled by God." Albania is predominantly a Muslim country, with Catholics making up about 16% of the 3 million inhabitants. Pope Francis is the second pope to visit the country. Pope St. John Paul II visited in 1993. Yesterday's apostolic visit highlights the fact that Albania is an example of interreligious cooperation and gives hopeful evidence that Muslims and Christians can live in harmony. For full English translations of the Holy Father's texts from his trip to Albania, visit our blog. And this past weekend in Quebec, there was a meeting, a first of its kind. Sheridan Sanders was there and has the details.
This past weekend, prison chaplains from across Canada gathered to network and better collaborate at the inaugural Catholic Connections in Restorative Justice Conference. The meeting aims to make a big impact on the Catholic footprint in prison ministry.
The theme of our conference is a passion for compassion. With the Holy Father's invitation to go to the peripheries, he is leading the way and saying, look you've got to pay attention to the people no one wants to pay attention to. You've got to take care of people. It doesn't matter whether they're in jail or not in jail. You got to take care of the people that are, I suppose, most unlovable. It's difficult. It's hard. But that's what we do as a church.
Prison chaplains have been encouraged and inspired in recent days by Pope Francis's call to reach out and encounter the peripheries. Talks included a presentation by Stephen Point, former Lieutenant Governor General of British Columbia, Bishop Gary Gordon of Victoria, as well as numerous workshops led by deacons and lay people. The conference concluded on Sunday with Holy Mass and a renewed resolve to build compassionate communities and to be present to those in need. In Beaupré, Quebec, I'm Sheridan Sanders.
For more information on Catholic Connections in Restorative Justice, visit their website, ccinrj.ca. And that concludes today's edition of Perspectives. If you're watching on our cable network, stay tuned for Catholic Focus. Sitting in for Stefan Slovak, I'm Deacon Pedro. Good night.